Near the quiet village of Krauschwitz, Germany, a routine construction project unearthed a mystery buried for thousands of years. Archaeologists working along the SuedOstLink power transmission line stumbled upon something remarkable: ancient graves, hiding clues to a forgotten world of elite Neolithic motherhood. Beneath layers of soil lay decorated bags, astonishingly preserved by time, not in their material form, but in the intricate patterns of dog teeth that once adorned them. These 500-year-old relics, found buried with women and infants, offered a rare window into the Corded Ware culture's complex society. Each bag, originally made of leather or fabric that has long since decayed, was covered with hundreds of canine and incisor teeth from medium-sized dogs, carefully arranged like roof tile. Some bags measured 30 centimeters long and 20 centimeters high, requiring nearly 350 teeth to complete. The finds were made by the State Office for Monument Preservation and Archaeology of Saxony-Anhalt during the excavation of the 170-kilometer SuedOstLink route. In total, archaeologists uncovered evidence of a cultural landscape shaped over millennia, including 5-6-0-year-old burial mounds from the Baalberg culture, as well as striking corded ware graves distinguished by these decorated accessories. According to the archaeological report, such elaborate bags were not everyday items. They appeared regularly in the burials of young adult women from elite families. Positioned in front of the body within the grave, the bags may have served as prestigious baby carriers. In some cases, archaeologists even found traces of infant bones inside, suggesting the bags held children in life and death. This discovery challenges previous assumptions about social stratification in Neolithic Europe. These were not just burial goods, they were personal items, tailored to individuals who held high status within their community. The bag's intricate design told a story of care, craftsmanship, and social identity. Teeth were selected with precision upper and lower canines, along with incisors from dogs that resembled today's small Münsterländer breed. These animals were likely bred specifically for this purpose, and sacrificed at a young age to harvest their teeth. The sheer number of teeth and the artistry involved point to a sophisticated process requiring time, knowledge, and resources, something only the elite could afford. Further evidence hinted at a deeper function. The positioning of the bags on the front of the body and the presence of infant bones inside suggested they were not just ornamental, but practical carriers used by mothers of high status. These pouches may have cradled infants whose heads, arms, and legs would have protruded from the openings, protected further by luxurious cloth accessories. Archaeologists found additional elements confirming this theory. One striking feature was a 20-centimeter wide scarf, embroidered with sequins and lined with dog molars, designed to offer more protection to the infant inside. These layers of decoration and utility combined to form a unique item that blended childcare, social expression, and symbolic prestige. Interestingly, such elaborately decorated baby carriers were found in only about 20% of the women's graves, reinforcing the idea that these items were reserved for a narrow elite. They were not passed down or inherited, but belonged to specific individuals, possibly signaling personal achievements or family rank. The decorated bags were often carried using wide straps, themselves adorned with wolf teeth, yet another indicator of the owner's status. The use of different animals for different decorative elements speaks volumes about how identity and class were expressed in this society. The archaeological site near Krauschwitz turned out to be part of a much larger and older cultural landscape. While the decorated bags belonged to the corded ware culture active across Europe from Alsace to Ukraine and from southern Scandinavia to the Alps, this area also revealed graves from the even earlier Baalberg culture dating back 60 years. The Baalberg people had established settlements on elevated ground, where they constructed trapezoidal wooden houses over graves, later covered with earth to form distinctive burial mounds. These structures weren't just tombs, they were monuments of power and memory. More than 15 such Baalberg burial sites were uncovered during the SuedOstLink excavations, indicating a strong tradition of ancestor worship and territorial identity. What's even more compelling is how these ancient monuments continued to influence the landscape long after the Baalberg people were gone. 1,000 years later, the corded ware communities chose to bury their dead near these mounds, perhaps to associate themselves with the authority and legacy of the earlier culture. Corded Ware burial practices were highly standardized across their vast range. The dead were always oriented to face south, males placed on their right sides, females on their left. Men were often buried with stone axes, women with jewelry and symbolic accessories, such as the elaborately adorned bags. These grave goods weren't random. They marked roles, identities, and the structure of society. In Krauschwitz, the presence of such labor-intensive items confirmed that this community was part of the corded ware elite. The craftsmanship, symbolism, and ritual detail involved in these burials illustrate a highly developed society, one that recognized social hierarchy, gender roles, and the importance of honoring both mothers and children in death, as in life. These discoveries offer an extraordinary glimpse into how Neolithic Europeans expressed power, family roles, and status, not through grand palaces or written records, but through objects of everyday life transformed into symbols of identity and prestige. The bags found in Krauschwitz were more than baby carriers. They were emblems of elite motherhood. They represented a mother's care, a community's resources, and an artisan's skill, all woven into a single, purposeful item. The deliberate use of dog and wolf teeth, the careful arrangement of materials, and the inclusion of protective scarves suggest an intimate understanding of both aesthetics and functionality. Each item buried with these women carried meaning. The dog teeth may have symbolized loyalty or protection, while the wolf teeth added a fiercer edge, perhaps a sign of strength or status. Combined, they formed a kind of visual language understood by the people of the time, a message left behind for future generations to interpret. What began as a modern infrastructure project revealed a long-buried chapter of human history. The findings along the SuedOstLink route show that the area was not only continuously occupied for thousands of years, but also held deep cultural and ceremonial significance. The landscape itself became a canvas for generations of people to express their values, memories, and aspirations. Through these carefully constructed graves and their remarkable contents, the people of Krauschwitz, especially its women and children, speak to us across the millennia. They tell us about love, loss, identity, and the power of material culture to convey meaning long after the voices have fallen silent.